Echo progression in Wuthering Waves is extremely important, but I don't see a lot of people talking about how you can effectively min-max echoes, especially when it comes to leveling them and recycling them for substat optimization. This is why in this video, I will try my best to share what I have learned about min-maxing echo, using the data collected and help you better manage the limited echo EXP and tuners you have while maximizing your gates. Let's dive right in. So first up, I want to talk about the best way to approach leveling echoes, and to do that, we have to take a look at how much echo EXP is required to get from level 1 to level 25. As you can see on the screen for yourself, it takes 142.6k echo EXP to go from level 1 all the way to level 25, and if we were to zoom into the important checkpoints, which is every 5 levels where we get an additional substat roll, we can see how much EXP is required to get from one checkpoint to the other. From this table, you can clearly see that there are significant jumps from plus 15 to plus 20 and an even bigger jump from plus 20 to plus 25. This is why you generally want to go for plus 20 on your echoes if you plan to build more echo sets, but if you are truly trying to push the Tower of Adversity, 4 sets on 2 teams max is more than enough, and going for plus 25 even on echoes that wrote bad substats is actually a better idea than you would think. This sounds counterintuitive because you eventually want to recycle the bad pieces, but if you were to compare the differences for the 25% EXP loss from recycling a plus 20 versus a plus 25 echo, you will notice the difference is actually not that big. A plus 20 echo piece loses 20k echo EXP, while a plus 25 echo piece loses 36k EXP. At this point, we are going to definitely recycle this in the future, so the only difference is a 16k echo EXP loss, which is about 3/4 of a Tacet field run at Union level 40, and of course decreasing once we go up the Union levels. Now at this point, you might be thinking that this is still a lot of additional lost echo EXP, but we have yet to consider what we can potentially gain out of the 5 extra levels. If we were to even ignore the additional substats roll on the plus 25 and only consider the main stat upgrades, using rough calculations, a 4 cost echo grants 5% DPS increase, a 3 cost echo gains 3.4% DPS, and a 1 cost echo only gives 1.3% DPS increase every 5 levels. This is actually pretty substantial if you think about it on the 4 cost and 3 cost echoes, as you can see, and can be a good reason to go forward with plus 25 on these 2 pieces at a minimum if you do not foresee yourself replacing it anytime soon. The short-term DPS gain can translate to more rewards using the Tower of Adversity as an example, where getting 1 extra star on a clear can help you grab up more airstrikes and echo EXP from the store using hazard records, and you can treat this as a sort of rebate of going to plus 25 on your pieces. This is just like my electric mosquito swatter I bought that I barely use anymore, having killed just 3 annoying mosquitoes that would have caused me more sleepless nights, which is completely worth it, just like my trash Ling Yang set that I'm still using till this day. Alternatively, if you are just looking to raise more echo sets and are thinking if plus 25 is worth it, you can see for yourself how it's honestly not that bad to level up a brand new set of 5, as going to plus 25 from scratch only takes 34 runs of Tacet fields at Union level 40, which is 8 days of full farms, but that is excluding the events, which should cut this down drastically. Now that we are done talking about the leveling approach for echoes, I'm sure a lot of you are also interested in substat optimizations. There are a total of 13 substats, and the best ones to aim for are the crit rate and crit damage, followed by the attack percent, and then followed by the flat attack, which is only slightly weaker than attack percentage. Energy regen is also key for some characters like Ziyan and Ling Yang that are ultimate dependent, but it's not as widely used compared to the traditional offensive stats. Meanwhile, the specific attack type bonuses are relatively weak given how they only buff part of the damage composition and suffer significant diminishing returns. Lastly, of course, you want to avoid the HP and defense stats outside of some defense scaling characters. Another thing of note is that these substats also come in ranges, but they are not distributed equally, and I would consider min-maxing to hit the max rules just be a bit too much to ask for. Now ideally, the best way to min-max and echo is to go to +5 and pray you get a crit rate or crit damage and feed it to the next echo for 75% of the echo EXP if it doesn't hit either stat. The problem with this lies in two factors, with the first being the tuner situation. As you can see for yourself, running one Tacet field at unit level 40 gives you 19 retries worth of echo EXP at +5, while only giving you 2 retries worth of tuners. This means that if you were to spam +5 recycles, in no time you'll be left with no tuners but a bunch of echo EXP. What's more, you also have to consider each recycle as you having to find a replacement echo for your next try. For 1-cost echoes, this might not be a big problem given the ease of hitting attack percent with the right set, but not so much even for the 4-cost echoes where you have to hit either crit rate or crit damage, and much less the 3-cost echoes where you have to hit elemental damage. This is why, depending on how hard you wish to min-max, going to +10 or even +15 might not be a bad idea. Take for instance, if you're only trying to get either crit rate or crit damage on the echo piece, you have a 64% chance to get either one with 5 rolls. Now if you're to miss either crit stat on your first roll, you still have a 57.58% chance on the remaining 4 rolls, which isn't the worst all things considered, and if we were to go even further, there's still a 49% chance left even if you were to continue to miss the crit stat on the +10 roll. What this means is that if you're only looking to get either crit rate or crit damage, going as far as +15 is fine as the EXP loss is still minimal while conserving you echo pieces and tuners technically. On the other hand, if you're looking to get both crit rate and crit damage on a single piece, you only have a 12.82% chance in 5 rolls, but even if you were to miss the first roll, there's still a decent 10% chance left to hit both in the remaining 4 rolls, which implies a large number of double crit outcomes still remain within the pool, so going for +10 isn't exactly bad, but if you continue to miss on your +10 roll, I think it's time to recycle it. Now for the people looking to sweat it out and go for the crit rate, crit damage plus attack percent on a single piece, you can see how difficult this is with only a minuscule 3.5% chance, and it is therefore best to recycle at +5 to first hit one of the 3 stats to boost your odds before continuing further. Hence, in most cases, I would recommend people to go to +10 even on 1-cost echoes if you're only looking to hit both crit rate and crit damage, and hope you hit one of those in the 2 rolls before continuing. If you're looking to be slightly more min-maxy, you can continue as long as you don't hit any of the HP or defense stats. Alternatively, if you have a bunch of tuners lying around or are strictly looking to get all 3 stats in crit rate, crit damage and attack percentage, I would recommend going for the +5 recycle. One thing to take note though is that the echo EXP obtained from the Tacet fields seems to increase marginally as compared to the tuners gain, so it might be better to recycle at +5 in the future when the EXP to tuner ratio decreases further as we level up. Now as for the main stat optimizations and selections, I have already covered it in this video over here, so check it out if you are interested. I'll see you guys over there. This is Corky Gachas, signing off.